So I have found that there are three main ways that we all experience or kind of feel stress. Hi, I'm Dan Chapman. I'm the founder of Remedies. And for those of you that want the quick answer, what are the types of stress and what do I do about it? I'm going to answer that for you in the first 2 minutes of this video. So I'll do that right up front for you. And then for anybody that wants a little more detail on what are the three types, how does it make me feel, and a little more detail on the solutions, I'm going to do that right afterwards. And then I'm going to talk a little bit more about stress and what it is in the body, the real impacts. And then a bonus, we know that stress causes sleeplessness. So I'm going to talk about sleep and how you can get some good sleep. And a little bit of a spoiler alert on that. This is not a melatonin solution. I'm actually going to explain to you why you don't want to use melatonin, why there are better solutions out there. And then a second bonus, adaptogens has been a big word that's been used about herbs, and I'm going to talk about what adaptogens are, why they're important, and some of the adaptogens that I like to use related specifically to stress. And then for those of you that want a little more information about who I am and my background and history, I'm going to do that at the very end for you. So let's jump right into this. As I said, I found that there are three main ways that we wear or kind of feel stress. And I've got them on the screen right here. So stress either shows up for us physically, it shows up for us anxious or emotions. Maybe there's a lack of focus, a difficult time concentrating. So more emotions, more anxiousness. And then the third way is depressive stress or melancholy, where stress is weighty on you. It just kind of pulls you down and you need that lift up. And so there are three ways that we can address each one of these types of stress depending on how it is that you kind of wear that stress uniquely and individually. And so here is that first solution for those of you that wear stress physically. That stress simply makes you tired and fatigued. And that's common. The higher your level of stress is, the lower your level of energy will be. We have a formula called True Energy that is perfectly designed for you. By the way, there are no stimulants in True Energy. Stimulation, caffeine, is not the solution for fatigue and low energy. We are going to design this formula to help your body have high levels of energy physically and mentally throughout the day. Stick around if you want the details on that. This is the short answers for those of you that want it up front. Let's move on to the second type of stress. Okay, that second type of stress is that stress where when you just wear it with anxiousness or maybe lack of focus and concentration. You might have just so much going on, your brain is racing and spinning, you just can't quiet it down. And at ease is the solution for you. Again, more details on this in a moment. Let's move on to that third type of stress. The third type of stress is depressive stress or melancholy, where the weight of the world just feels heavy on you and you need that lift. Enjoy is the right product for you. So now let's talk about stress and what it is and the impact on the body, and then we'll get into a lot more detail on these solutions for you. So stress, by definition, is the body's reaction to a change that requires a physical, mental, or emotional adjustment or response. Now, I will let that sink in for just a minute. I know there's probably a lot more words than you normally think about when we talk about stress. Most of us, when we think about stress, we think, oh, I've had a stressful day or I have a stressful life. But stress really is anything that causes your body to come out of balance. Anything that requires your body to adjust physically, mentally, or emotionally. And the thing that I want us to understand is our bodies are actually very well designed to handle and manage stress. We do it all day, every day for our lifetimes. So stress is something that our bodies can handle. But if we don't care for our bodies, if we don't allow our bodies time to rest and recuperate, stress actually can cause issues. The thing that I want us to understand is that stress isn't free. it does come at a cost. And there's actually a term for that cost. It's known as the allostatic load. This is defined as the price that your brain and your body are going to pay for being forced to respond to these constant stressors. So again, our bodies are good at handling stress, but it does come at a cost. And again, if you don't care for your body when these stressors are small, this allostatic load can build, and when it builds, that's when we really start to see some issues happening in our body because of stress. This allostatic load, or the cost of stress, has been proven to cause all kinds of issues in the body, starting with stress can create permanent changes in your brain that lead to chronic pain, anxiety, depression, PTSD, cognitive decline. Yeah, stress alone changes the way that our brain thinks and the way that our brain processes information. So we absolutely need to take care and deal with stress. Stress also can create damage in the cardiovascular system. Actually, if you study traditional Chinese medicine, you'll learn that stress is the cause of all cardiovascular disease. It makes a huge impact on the health of our heart and our circulatory system. Actually, it's also been proven that stress is an equal indicator as to whether you will have a cardiovascular issue as smoking cigarettes. So stress and smoking cigarettes are an equal cause of cardiovascular issue. Stress affects our blood sugar, glucose. So even if you eat a healthy meal under significant stress, your body is not going to process carbohydrates the same way. Stress creates inflammation throughout the body. Most of the time we think about inflammation as it relates to physical damage or injury or something happening in our body. But stress alone can create inflammation throughout the body. Again, it's something very important that we pay attention to. Stress, of course, disrupts our sleep cycles. And I think we all understand that. The higher our stress is, our brain is just going and racing. It makes it very difficult to quiet that brain and get a good night's sleep. And that's why I'm definitely going to talk about sleep here in a moment in the first bonus session in a few minutes. Stress suppresses our immune system function. Actually, when it comes to immunity, under short-term stress, a stress response, our immune system is actually upregulated for that short period of time. But when we live in stress, when stress is long-term or what we call chronic, the immune system is actually down-regulated. So it's very important to make sure that we deal with stressors in our lives so that our immune system can function at the high level that it is designed to function to protect us from whatever it is that we come in contact with on a daily basis. Stress diverts energy away from digestion. So similar to blood sugar or glucose, when we eat a meal under stress, our body actually suppresses the production of enzymes to digest that food. So again, even eating a healthy meal under stress or when you're frustrated or when you're angry, your body will not digest food the same way. Stress, at the end of the day, it simply drains us physically and mentally. Again, the higher your level of stress is, the lower your level of energy will be. It's very important that we deal with stress. And so the first solution, again, if we look at for those of us that wear stress physically, true energy is that solution for us because, again, the higher our level of stress is, the lower our level of energy will be. And true energy is a wonderful solution for you. There are no stimulants, no caffeine in this formula. We don't want to push your body. When we do that, there's going to be a downside on the other side of that pushing. We want to make sure that we're helping your body handle stress and nourishing or feeding it. And that's what true energy does. The foundation of this product are two adaptogen herbs, Panax ginseng and rhodiola. These are the adaptogens that we use for energy, strength, stamina, focus, and clarity. These adaptogens will not stimulate, they will not push the body. There's no caffeine in these herbs. These herbs help your body deal with stress so that you can have high levels of energy physically and mentally, and you can have that endurance and that stamina that we're looking for. So this is the foundation of true energy. panax, ginseng, and rhodiola. The rest of this formula are nourishing herbs targeted very specifically to nourish the adrenals, the thyroid, and the liver. And we do this because I know that if any one of these three, the adrenals, thyroid, or liver, are not functioning at peak performance, your energy levels are going to be low. You're going to be fatigued. Now, there can also be a list of potentially a couple of hundred other health issues that you might have if you have adrenal, thyroid, or liver health issues. So we want to make sure that we are nourishing the adrenals, the thyroid, and the liver so they can do the jobs that they were created to do, which is going to give us, again, high levels of energy physically and mentally all day long on a daily basis. That's what True Energy will do for you. This is a very easy product to use. It's simply 2 capsules a day. The next formula is at ease. This is our formula for those of us that wear stress as anxious, as focus issues and concentration. Our brain is racing and spinning. We can't quiet it down. We can't think. We can't make decisions even sometimes. There's just too much going on. And we need to provide a sense of calm and clarity and focused thoughts. That is what at ease is going to do for you. When we look at this formula starts with B vitamins. So what do B vitamins do in the body? B vitamins generally, the whole category of B vitamins are catalysts. A catalyst starts a chain of reactions. So one of the images that I like to give on B vitamins is if we would like to have a campfire, we need something to start that fire, right? We need a catalyst. And that catalyst for a campfire is a match. We light that match and it gives itself up for the production of the campfire. That's essentially what B vitamins do in our bodies, is they start a chain of reactions. They give a part of themselves up for the production of something better or greater than itself. And in this case, those B vitamins are starting that production of neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are these brain chemicals that we need to have balanced if we're going to be able to think and focus and make decisions well, if we're not going to feel anxious. So B vitamins are an important start to that process. And then we add magnesium and choline. And you can look at magnesium and choline as kind of food or fuel for the brain and the body. And when your brain and your body are anxious, when your brain and your body are moving too quickly, we need more fuel, right? Just if you're driving your car too fast down the highway, you're going to use more fuel. Well, our body is the same way. Magnesium and choline are important fuels to replace when we have an anxious brain and an anxious body. And then we use GABA. This is our main calming neurotransmitter. GABA will go to work very quickly in your body to bring some quiet, to bring some calm to it. And then 5-HTP. 5-HTP is an amino acid. Amino acids come from protein, so this is something that you can find in your food supply. 5-HTP is the direct precursor to serotonin. Serotonin is your main happy neurotransmitter, and we know that for those of us that feel anxious stress, we are low in serotonin. 5-HT is a very effective and safe way to regulate the amount of serotonin that you need in your body. It will help produce how much you need uniquely. And then L-theanine. L-theanine is another amino acid. This is a wonderful amino acid. This one actually comes from green tea, and it can do something wonderful for those of us that feel anxious stress in that it helps us to relax. And at the same time it's helping me relax, it's increasing my alertness. A wonderful amino acid to use for anxious stress. So this is the foundation of at ease. And then we add 2 herbs to this formula. The first is Bacopa. Bacopa is a brain tonic. It's an Indian herb or an Ayurvedic herb. And one of the things that I love about Bacopa, in addition to its ability to really help with focus and concentration and memory, is what it does for us physically. Especially when we're feeling that, again, that anxious stress. Bacopa has this wonderful way to just quiet or calm our bodies physically. So sometimes when you're really anxious, your heart might be racing, your blood pressure might be up. You might feel like you can't even breathe because your muscles are tight and tense and tied in knots. Bacopa helps to just kind of calm all of that physical stress. It quiets it. and does a wonderful job. And then Schizandra. Schizandra is an adaptogen herb, and this is the adaptogen herb that we use for those of us that are feeling emotional stress. It is the perfect finish to this formula. At Ease is a wonderful product that's going to go to work quickly in you to kind of quiet that anxious stress, and then the longer you use it, the more balance that it's going to create for you. Then the last type of stress that we feel is depressive stress. And so this is for those of us that, again, we just kind of, we wear the weight of the world and it pulls us down. Again, we might have days where we just feel low, we feel melancholy, we might not even have motivation to want to get out of bed today or go out and do anything or see anybody. So Enjoy is the formula that's going to lift you up. It's going to lift up your mood. It's going to provide some emotional strength in you. Enjoy is the right product to use. And so we start this formula also with B vitamins, just like we do with At Ease, and for the same reason. These B vitamins are our catalyst, right? It's the match for our campfire. And so this B12 and the folic acid that's in Enjoy is going to help spark that production of neurotransmitters in the body. It's going to get that process going. And then we use vitamin D. This is an important foundational vitamin, especially again for depressive type stress. We know that when we're feeling low that we're deficient in vitamin D. There's vitamin D receptors throughout the entire brain. This is our sunshine vitamin. So we need to make sure that we have a good foundation of vitamin D. And then L-tyrosine and 5-HTP again. These two amino acids are your direct precursors to serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine. This is important for those of us, again, that feel that depressive stress. We want to give you the building blocks so we can help produce all neurotransmitters in balance. We want to give you the building blocks so your body will produce what it is that you need. Because I know oftentimes with depressive stress, we're often focused on serotonin levels. What can we do to get serotonin levels up? The brain is not as simple as let's increase serotonin and all of a sudden we have a healthy, happy brain. We want all neurotransmitters to be in balance, and that's what this foundation is going to do for you. With Enjoy, we finished this formula with 2 herbs as well. Both of these herbs are adaptogens. You see Schizandra again, the same adaptogen that we use in At Ease. This is our adaptogen for emotional stress. It's the perfect adaptogen for both people that feel that anxious stress and that depressive or low stress. So we want to make sure that we start there. And then we add to that holy basil. Holy basil is really a special adaptogen herb that lifts the spirit, it lifts the mood. I look at holy basil is really kind of like that best friend that comes over and says a kind word and cheers you up and says, we can do this, let's go out and get something done today and have some fun. It provides and builds some emotional strength in you. So this is the Enjoy formula. This is a formula that you'll want to use consistently. We're going to find that every few days, every week that you're using this formula, you're going to feel better and better and better as you're bringing lifted up to that place of health and balance in your brain. You're going to feel great on Enjoy. So again, a very quick recap. We have stress that causes physical, anxious, or depressive stress. And in the middle of this slide, I wrote sleep, because we know that if we experience any of these types of stress, that it can cause sleep issues. It can be challenging to quiet that brain, to calm things down, to make sure that we have the ability to fall asleep well and get a good night's sleep, which is essential for us to have a good tomorrow. So we want to make sure that we're helping you with sleep as well. And we're going to do that with a formula called At Ease PM. At Ease PM is very similar in design to our At Ease daytime formula. I'll share with you in a moment some of the herbs and things that we've changed in this. But what At Ease PM is going to do for you is going to help quiet your brain and your body, help you get in that deep sleep and stay there through the night so you can wake up refreshed. As I mentioned, there is no melatonin in this product. We do not want to use melatonin, and this next slide will give you an idea as to why. So if we look at this slide, you will see in the middle we have a red oval that says 5-HTP. This is the amino acid I've talked about in At Ease and Enjoy. It's also in At Ease PM. And 5-HTP is a naturally occurring amino acid that is your direct precursor to serotonin. You see that arrow going to the right, 5-HTP converts into serotonin. Serotonin is our happy neurotransmitter. It is a neurotransmitter that you are low in if you struggle with anxiousness or depressive feelings. It's a neurotransmitter that you are deficient in if you struggle with sleep issues. But here's what I want you to see. If you follow serotonin to the bottom left, you'll see that that is what converts to melatonin. Melatonin is a hormone that sets your body's clock. It's a hormone that's produced in the evening when the lights go low that tells you it's time to fall asleep now. For those of you that take melatonin externally by itself in a supplement form, you are taking a hormone, and I advise that if you do not know how low or how much melatonin you might need, it's not a good idea to self-regulate a hormone. That's why I love to use 5-HTP, which is a precursor or a building block. It allows your body to produce what you need with serotonin, which will then convert to melatonin in the amounts that you need. And we're allowing your body to do the work that it was designed to do, the work that it wants to do on its own, given the right nutrients. If you take melatonin and we do that work for you, your body doesn't need to produce that melatonin on its own, and over time you can become dependent on melatonin. So I highly recommend using 5-HTP and not using melatonin for sleep. If we look at the rest of our At Ease PM formula, again, very similar in design to At Ease, the daytime formula, because we want that foundation of some B vitamins, that magnesium and GABA and the amino acids to help make sure that we have a healthy and a balanced brain so it can quiet down and let us get some good sleep. But we want to change these herbs up because I want to help you sleep tonight. So the herbs in At Ease PM are California poppy, hops, and lemon balm. These three herbs are going to do a great job right now tonight to help, again, relax that brain, relax the body, getting you in that deep sleep so you can stay there and wake up feeling refreshed. Dosing on At Ease PM is simply 1 capsule, half hour to an hour before bed. It's going to work well for you even this first night, and it works very well with True Energy, At Ease, or Enjoy. So use the right daytime stress formula for you, depending again on the way that you experience or feel stress. And then you can add At Ease PM to that to make sure that you're sleeping well at night, waking up feeling refreshed in the morning. Okay, I said that I was going to talk to you a little bit about adaptogens as well, just to make sure that you understand what is this term, what is an adaptogen? So first of all, an adaptogen is not the name of a specific herb. It is a small class of elite herbs that have 3 very specific qualities. And so in total, I talk about adaptogen herbs as being our herbal answers to chronic stress. And that's really what they are. They are amazing at herbs at protecting our brain and our body from the negative effects of stress. So the first quality that an adaptogen has to have is it must be an herb that's non-toxic. And so I will tell you that herbs are safe. They are. Herbs as a whole, if you look at the whole category of herbs, they really don't cause issues in the body. It's very, very rare. But that doesn't mean that herbs are non-toxic. You do need to be careful with them. There are certain herbs that you don't want to use too much of. But adaptogens are non-toxic herbs. They have an incredibly high safety profile. So that's where we start with adaptogens. Number 2, an adaptogen must have this ability to produce a non-specific response in the body. And that simply means it has to have this unique ability to work anywhere in your body that your body needs help or support. Any organ, any body system, any place that your body has a weakness, an adaptogen must have the ability to go there and be helpful. The third quality that an adaptogen must have is it must have this normalizing influence on the body. And that simply means that it doesn't matter if the issue that you have is an overactive issue or an underactive issue. And an adaptogen must have the ability to take that problem, no matter where the starting point is, and bring that back to balance or center. Our body wants to be in a state of homeostasis or balance. And that's what adaptogens will create for us. And when they do that, our body then can spend the energy that it has functioning well, doing what our body is supposed to do. So when we find that our body is protected from stress with adaptogens and in this place of balance or homeostasis, we feel really good. High levels of energy physically and mentally. It's that day where we wake up feeling refreshed. We jump out of bed, we go after the day, and when the day is over, we're tired because we worked hard or we played hard, we've had a good day, and we are able to just drift off into sleep, restore our bodies, and go after it again the next day. So adaptogens are really important herbs for all of us that experience stress, and we know that stress is a problem for us today, right? So use your adaptogens. You'll find that adaptogens are the foundation of all three of the stress formulas that I've outlined today. True Energy, At Ease, and Enjoy all have a foundation of adaptogens to help protect us from that stress. So, what are some of the adaptogens? The adaptogens that we use in these formulas, I've mentioned them quickly, but I'm going to go over them here for you again. We use Asian ginseng or Panax ginseng. This is the same herb, by the way. Two different words that we can use to describe it. Asian ginseng is Panax ginseng. That is the adaptogen in True Energy, along with rhodiola. So while all adaptogens have the three qualities that I just went through, each adaptogen has something that it's particularly good at, like an expertise. If we look at Asian or Panax ginseng and rhodiola, these are the adaptogens for physical stress. So energy, strength, stamina, focus, clarity. That's what you would use these two adaptogens for. Schizandra is that adaptogen we use in both At Ease and Enjoy because its expertise is emotional stress, a wonderful adaptogen for those of us that experience that. And then the fourth adaptogen we have listed here is holy basil. This is the adaptogen we use in Enjoy. It's the one that's going to create that emotional strength. It's our best friend, right? It lifts us up. It says that kind word, builds some emotional strength in us. And there are more adaptogens, but there's not hundreds of them. There's a dozen or so truly adaptogen herbs. So these are the ones that I'll go over with you today. Thanks so much for listening. For those of you that want a little bit more information about myself, let me give you a little bit of background. I've got a picture of my mom and dad on the screen here. My parents opened a health food store in the Chicago area in 1961 called Sunrise Health Foods. I still own Sunrise today. It's been a wonderful place to learn and to grow up. My parents started Sunrise Health Foods because in the 1950s, my mom would have been in her mid-20s, young lady, newly married to my dad, and was really struggling with anxiety and fatigue and depression. And there were smells and food that would set this off for her. And she didn't understand it well. At that time, the doctors didn't understand well what to do for her. And over the course of many years, in changing her diet and incorporating herbs and different nutrients, she really transformed her life and her health. And so I grew up with a mom who was really passionate about food and nutrition. I worked at Sunrise when I was young and through my early adult career, and it was really out of this experience that I started Red Remedies in 2005. Red, by the way, with two D's on the word, it's not a color. Red is a word from the early 1800s that means to put in order. And that's really our mission at Red Remedies, is to help you and people like my mom put their lives in order as it relates to health. And there's a few things that are really important to us as a company. The first of which is results. I will tell you that everything that we do at Red Remedies is hyper-focused on creating formulas that are going to work for you. I've got a picture of Stacy Littlefield on the screen here. Stacy has been with me since the day I started Red Remedies. She has an undergrad in biology and a master's degree in herbal medicine. And Stacy leads our herbal selection and our formulation process for us today at Red Remedies. And I will tell you, having a master herbalist on the team is just like going to that restaurant, the restaurant where there's a really amazing chef that makes all kind of food taste so much better than the food that you might cook at home. That's the difference between having a master herbalist formulate your products, or even somebody that might be a naturopath or might have some other lower level education. Stacy has dedicated her life to the study of herbs, and it makes a significant difference in the herbs that we use, the ones that we select, the type of extract, the area of the world that that herb comes from, and the amount and the balance, the way we put our formulas together. It'll make a difference. And so if I give you a little bit of insight as to how we go about putting our formulas together, I have a very specific process that Stacy follows when we're making or creating a formula. We want all of our products to do three specific things in the body. The first thing we want to do is we want to nourish your body. And that's important to me because we can push and stimulate your body with herbs as well, and that would be considered natural. I believe that nourishing is a much better, longer lasting, more effective way to make healthy changes in the body. I believe that your body wants to do what it was created to do, and it will do that given the right nutrients and the right food and the right herbs. And so that's what we want to do, is nourish and encourage that body to start to do what it was supposed to do. And then we want to step back and support all of the systems involved in that issue, because our body is whole and connected, right? There's never anything that happens in one area of your body that's not going to have some ripple effect or impact on the rest of the body. So while we're nourishing the target that we want to address, we step back and support the whole system in that process, and it allows us to do a much better job of helping you get the results you're looking for. And then ultimately, it's our goal to create balance or homeostasis. When your body is in balance, that's perfection. It doesn't get any better than a body that's in balance. A body in balance doesn't have disease. You don't have symptoms. You've got tons of energy physically and mentally. And I've had a few athletes say, well, I don't know, Dan, balance is not really what I'm after, like peak performance. And I will tell you, if you're an athlete, you will never achieve peak performance if your body systems and organs are not in balance. That's what we want to make sure that we create for you in the products. Second thing that's important to us at a high level is purity. We spend a tremendous amount of effort ensuring that every product that we deliver to you is absolutely clean and pure. We have a purity promise that we make to you. This is managed by a third-party lab that tests all of our products extensively. You can get more information on this at our website at redremedies.com/purity. We've got a nice summary there for you, as well as a white paper if you want to read all the details. And then lastly is family. We're a family-owned company here at Red Remedies. I'm really proud of that fact. And what that does for us, it really allows us to put our mission in front of everything we do, which is, again, is to help put your lives and my life and everybody I know, put our lives in order as it relates to health. Very important for us. Thank you so much for listening. God bless you, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.